During our previous supplementary tutorial, everything was relatively straightforward, although you might have noticed that calcium proved to be a bit tricky. I thought that I would briefly cover calcium preparations as they are so commonly administered in clinical practice. Yvonne is 48 years old and she's post-op a parathyroidectomy. Her post-operative plasma ionized calcium concentration is 0.45 millimoles per litre, and this is very, very low, and she is very twitchy. We will cover hypocalcemia at a later date, but this is not good. And you're told to give her 10 mils of calcium. So you go to the drug press and you open the drawer and you find these three products: 10% calcium chloride, 14.7% calcium chloride, and 10% calcium gluconate. Well, which one do you use, and does it really matter? Let's work the problem. Calcium is element 20, and that has an atomic mass of 40.08. The mass to mole relationship is 1000 divided by 40.08. That works out at 25 millimoles per gram. Chloride, as you know, is element 17 with an atomic mass of 35.5, and we've done all this before. It works out at 28 millimoles per gram. So you might think that the molecular weight of calcium chloride is 40 plus 35.5, but it's just not. Firstly, due to the charge distribution, there are 2 chlorides for every calcium. That's because calcium is divalent and chloride is univalent, and that increases the molecular mass to 111. But pharmacological products contain calcium chloride dihydrate, so there are 2 water molecules, and that adds a molecular mass of 36 to the whole lot. So you add 36 to 111, and the actual molecular mass of calcium chloride is 147. So calcium chloride dihydrate, molecular mass 147. Now the proportion of this that is calcium is 40 divided by 147. So it's 40 divided by the whole lot, including the water. So it's 27.2%. And now working to look at calcium chloride 14.7% solution, we have 14.7 grams per 100 mils, or 0.147 grams per mil, and we know that calcium is 27.2% of that, and that's 27.2% of 0.147, and the calcium is 25 millimoles per gram, so 25 multiplied by 0.147 multiplied by 0.272, which is the percentage, equals 1 millimole per mil. 1 millimole per mil. And so 14.7% calcium chloride contains 10 mils of 10 millimoles. So if you want to give 10 mils of calcium chloride, 14.7%, you will give the patient 10 millimoles. That's a lot of calcium. The other formulation with chloride is 10% calcium chloride. That's 10 grams per 100 mils, or 0.1 gram per mil. We know the calcium is 27.2% of 0.1 mil. We also know that it's 25 millimoles per gram, and 25 times 0.1 multiplied by 0.272 works out at 0.68 millimoles per mil, and you've been asked to give 10 mils, and that would work out at 6.8 millimoles in 10 mils. So quite a lot less than the 14.7% as you would expect. And that brings us to 10% calcium gluconate. The chemical formula for calcium gluconate is C12H22CaO14. A lot of stuff in there, but that works out with a molecular mass of 430. The molar mass is 430 grams per mole. And remember, this is a 10% solution. That's 10 grams per 100 mils, or 1 gram in 10 mils. The calcium content is 40 divided by, of course, the molecular mass of calcium gluconate, which works out at 0.093 or 9.3%, or 0.93 milligrams in 1 mil. There are 25 millimoles of calcium per gram. That's 1,000 divided by 40. And of course, 0.093, which is the milligram way of putting it, times 25 works out at 0.233 millimoles in 1 mil, or 2.33 millimoles in 10 mils. So it's significantly lower in calcium than the other two products that I've shown you. So with respect to Yvonne and her twitchiness and her hypoparathyroidism or hypocalcemia after her parathyroidectomy, in general, what would we give? 10% calcium chloride is what's found in the mini-jet amps in cardiac arrest. You certainly could use it in this situation. The 14.7% or 1 millimole per mil concentration, it's used for hypocalcemia in the ICU, generally via a central line. If the patient is in a high dependency area, you certainly could use this as well. But for the majority of cases, 10% calcium gluconate is used for intravenous calcium replacement. It can be delivered very, very safely through a peripheral line.